Welcome to Straight Talk Recovery. My name is Maurice Ruffin,
And I'm Eric Amaran.
and today's topic is coping with feelings. I picked this topic because what I've noticed as far as in recovery, and not just in recovery, in life in general. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Coping with feelings. A lot of people, especially coming from addiction, don't know how to cope with their feelings.
Right.
You know, they still have this, and I'm gonna say we still have this I'm entitled type attitude or emotions. You know, it
Right.
doesn't go my way, it has to go my way. Attitude.
I think I feel bad for people that haven't gone through recovery because we're forced to learn coping skills, right? So instead of us getting pissed off that we have a flat tire, we just fix the tire, right? But that could blow somebody's whole day, whole week. And it's like, I'm grateful that I was forced to learn coping skills because I was one of those people that the smallest thing could blow up into like this big, huge mess.
And I'm gonna say, I got into recovery. I want to live a better life.
Yeah.
And not only just from the substance, I want to recover from all the BS that the substance brought me.
Right.
All the beliefs and the way I lived my life because I lived in an urban inner city neighborhood and I chose to go a different route.
Right.
You know, and then the addiction and all that stuff. So I lost a lot of things in that process.
Sure. But
Okay.
you gained a lot of things too.
Yeah, I gained a lot of experience in life in general.
Yeah.
So for me to learn how to live life,
Yeah.
okay, from my substance, I got to learn how to live life generally, basic situations.
Yeah.
You know, bills.
Yeah.
You know,
A job is just a job kind of thing. Like people put so much emphasis on what they do that when they lose that job, they lose their shit. It's like that job is not your recovery. You know what I mean?
and it's not. And going, and I'm gonna say, going to meetings, being around people in recovery, okay, that's cool. But outside, what is your life outside of that?
Right.
So you have to be able to cope with everyday situations.
Right.
You know.
Like I actually have friends in my life that have no idea I was ever a drug addict. They have no idea that I'm in recovery. And I like that they don't know because I don't have to be on 100% of the time, right? It's just, hey,
you just want to live life.
Right.
I just want to live life. You know,
Right.
When I go out to eat, you know what I'm saying? I just want to have just a decent conversation, to laugh about some things. And I want my conversation sometimes just different from recovery.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to constantly feel like I have to beat myself up
Right.
every day. You
I
know?
feel like at one of those.
So, and he said, "Don't stop believing."
Right.
That's
Right. Right. This is God intervening. Like it does that quite a bit sometimes. You know?
Right. Go ahead. I'm gonna grab it. Go ahead.
Thank you, brother. So what I was going to say is we put too much emphasis on certain things and not on other things, like to broadening your horizons, right? Like not everybody is in recovery. So if you go to a bar with somebody and you go out to eat with somebody, like you don't have to get those scares like I'm gonna have a beer and they give you the side eye. It's like I'm not your recovery coach. You do what you want to do, you know? Like I'm just here for the chicken wings, you know?
Right. I witnessed something last week at work, and it was staff. And one of the clients went off, you know, on her,
Yeah.
and you know, I seen this look on her face, you know, and I'm like, "You all right?" And she was like, "No." I'm like, he said, "Yeah." I'm thinking now, like, did he say something derogatory? Did he physically touch you? You know, I'm like, what's the deal? She mentioned the way this client had talked to her, made her feel, and it took her back to her substance abuse times.
Yeah.
You know, degrading her or made her feel because she experienced that in her addiction.
Yeah.
And I truly believe like sometimes we get in recovery and we really forget about some of those things that we need to work on and to
Right.
handle life, because a relapse don't just come. See, when they say this, well, you relapse way before you pick up.
Right.
Well,
Like there's 3 stages to a relapse. There's the pre-lapse, that's you thinking about using. Then there's the actual event, which is the relapse. And then there's the post-lapse.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say this because they say it a lot in recovery, but you know, you relapse before you pick up.
Yeah.
Well, you can't tell me that we don't have those thoughts on a regular, because we're around it.
Right.
And so those thoughts come. Do I actually now picking up does takes it you past that point now.
Right.
You
So,
know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. Like in the field that we've chosen to make money in, we are surrounded by addiction, right?
Right.
But I think where it differs is we're surrounded by other people's addiction. So like we don't see ourselves using.
Boom. Now with that right there.
Yeah.
Coping, how to separate that.
Right.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do we separate that?
Yeah.
Do we work on that? You
So-
know?
A client asked me the other day, she asked me, when was the last time I thought about using? And I didn't have an answer. I can't remember when it was. I've been doing one day at a time for so long that it's just become like in my DNA.
Okay. And a guy shared with me, went to a meeting yesterday,
Mhm.
and the guy said, you know, it's crazy because even sitting here, even though I have the strength and the power not to pick up, go drink or use drugs.
Right.
He said, but it crosses my mind as we be sitting here.
Yeah.
You know, he said it attacks us, our life in addiction. We pick up a lot of different beliefs and how we feel, our emotions, because you know, we use because we happy, we use because we sad,
Right.
we use because of death, we use because it's Friday,
Right.
I just got some money,
Right.
for whatever reason, we've used, picked up, abused in all aspects.
You know, you actually just hit on something. So when we're doing interviews at work for like people getting their clinicals done, the common answer as to the biggest trigger is money. Like having too much money and not enough common sense to not use. So now
Well, do the responsible thing. Okay, you got this money, what needs to be taken care of?
what needs to be paid.
What needs to be paid? Like for me, you know, I have this thing where, you know, I get a vehicle, I buy another vehicle, I want to work on it, I want to get it running, whatever.
Right.
So, you know, and then you want the best deals, okay? That's for me. I want to try to find somebody that knows what they're doing, not going to charge so much.
Right.
But I got to the point where I know what frustrates me, okay? I know when somebody tell me they're gonna do something, and it's not like I'm trying to beat anybody, because I ask them what's their price,
Right.
not what I'm gonna give them. You
Right.
know, some people have an issue with telling someone what they're gonna give them for their time.
Right.
You know, me, I ask, you know, what you charging for this?
Right.
You know, to do this. Well, it came down to, am I being cheap on myself? Am I lowballing myself? Or
I think you're
just,
being cautious. I think it's caution.
well, I just decided to just put it in the shop.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, you know what? Just put it in the shop, and then there's no worries. Then there's a guarantee behind that person's work.
In all fairness, the backyard mechanics are in the backyard for a reason. Right.
But you got to do it.
Yeah.
I ain't taking
Yeah.
nothing. I don't
No.
want to take anything from no brothers or, you know, anybody that knows what they're doing. But it was just to the point where, you know, I can get frustrated.
Sure.
It can make me feel some type of way that I have something, I have a goal that I want to accomplish, and it's getting interrupted with, don't show up, tell me, promise. Well, I don't say promise me, but you said your word is not being your word, whatever it may be. So I can get frustrated with that.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
No, I get that.
And so
But is it the event that's frustrating, or are you looking too much into the outcome of it?
it can be both.
Yeah.
I would say both. I'm gonna say both, E, because once I put my mind to something, I do it.
Yeah.
I try to. That's the type of person I want to be.
Right.
My word is my word.
Yeah.
You
Same
know,
same with me.
You
Like,
know. So when I put my word, when I put my thought on fixing this, you know, because I it sits out there, I go start it up and just let it run or whatever,
yeah.
but it's not doing the performance like what I needed to do. So
Yeah.
then I made my mind up. Okay, once this is out the way, then I'm gonna focus on this.
Right.
Okay, it's gonna get, you know, winter's coming, fall, you know, all that. So I don't want anybody that's gonna be laying on no ground.
Right in the
wet.
snow.
So, right. And then if it's snowing now, it's like, okay, now I gotta wait till spring. I
Yeah.
don't know. So I want this done in a decent time. So my thing, okay, a lot of them don't have garages. Okay, so but I do respect the fact that, you know, okay, I can get a deal, but at the same time, quit being cheap.
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at. Like, quit being cheap, get the truck fixed, pay for it, whatever it's gonna cost,
Right.
and then I know it's fixed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No,
You
I
know,
totally get that. Like
so-
sometimes we put too much emphasis on somebody else's ability, and when they can't perform the way we thought they should, then it becomes a letdown for us. But we are internalizing our own feelings because we're the ones that put them on such a high pedestal.
And that's what with the coping with feelings.
Yeah.
Coping with feelings, you know, because it can frustrate us. And I don't want to get like that. I don't want to feel, you know, like I'm failing in some area, but at the same time I want to grow. And it's just like living life after in recovery, but living life.
Right.
Okay.
Like
You get that? Like
one of the things that just entered my mind about your truck is like maybe God doesn't want you driving that right now. Maybe there's a reason why.
we can say that.
Yeah.
We can say that if that was
I mean, it's not on our time, right?
I'd be patient with it,
Right.
you know, but I'm not gonna put that on God.
Right.
I'm just not gonna put that on God. I'm just say me being patient,
Yeah.
okay, and me doing what I decided to do. Just put it in the shop.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
For sure.
instead of nickel and diamond, this piece, that piece, this part, this person won't show. This person, you know, it's I'm doing too
much.
I'm doing too much
Yeah.
when I can just put it in the shop and just get it fixed.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So
I do.
let's just narrow this down.
Yeah.
And that don't happen there. Maybe God don't want me to drive. Then I'm gonna say God might not want me to drive this.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just like coping with life. You know, I can get all frustrated with it. I can do even like it can be a bill. It can be a bill. You know, sometimes the phone bill pops up. You know what I'm saying? It's my insurance be popping up.
Right.
And I'll be like, man, I feel like I just paid that.
Right. Which you probably did, right?
I did last month. but I'm trying to live life regularly. Like just live life.
Yeah.
You know, because it's gonna be okay. I'm planning on a vacation, go to Arizona in January.
Cool.
So I'm making preparations for this vacation. Contacting a few people like, hey, I might need to get from here to here.
Mhm.
And once I'm here
Right.
to this point, then, you know, we got a car set up, we got a place
Right.
already.
But you
set
have
up.
to get from point A to point B.
Right.
Gotcha.
Once we get to a certain spot. Or I don't even know, like, if they got the airport. Do I gotta fly into Phoenix? Do I have to fly? Can I fly into? Because I ain't getting in no small planes.
Right.
I really don't want to fly.
Right.
Plane. I just want to take the train. Period. That's just what it is. You know.
I got you.
But you know, that's just learning how to live life and do what normal, what we consider what is normal. We don't know,
Right.
but
Stable.
life.
Right.
You know, just a stable life. Like I say, man, when life is outside of recovery, okay, just not really focusing on, because we can beat ourselves up so much to this persona of being in recovery and don't even know how to cope with basic stuff
Yeah.
that life brings.
You know, I think it's good to have that one person in your life that's the anchor, right? Right. So like at work, that's you and Tony, right? Like I'm very blessed to be able to have people like you and Tony in my life. Like there have been so many times that it was been put back into perspective as to what my goal is by, you know,
Right.
especially by Tony, because he works very closely with me, you know.
Right.
Ryan and Tony are on vacation right now. That man needed a vacation, so I hope they're having fun. A shout out to Ryan and Tony. But it's good to have that anchor person in your life that you can just sounding board. Like this is what I'm feeling, and not have to worry about somebody getting their
Right.
feelings hurt.
Right.
You know.
Being honest.
Yeah.
I can say we this happened, you know, one of the guys at work, he was going through, it was just three of us there. And he was like, oh, I said, man, just relax and
Right.
chill. You know what I'm saying? And he told me the next day, he was like, man, thanks, Mo, man, you got me in my place.
Yeah.
You know, but it was, you know, it was feeling like, I guess he was feeling overwhelmed, and that do happen. And
Yeah.
in the life in general, we get overwhelmed.
Sure. Sure.
We get so overwhelmed.
That's life on life stage, you know. So
Yeah.
sometimes it is like it's like overwhelming and very in your face. But a lot of times, like it's fun, it's blessing, it's meeting new people, it's doing new things. You know, like life on life's terms encompasses a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
And I don't know if a lot of people that's in recovery realize that it's not just that substance.
No. It could be
Look
like
at,
fast food.
You
It
know,
could be
yeah,
spending money. It could
attitude,
be yeah.
How you approach different situations.
Like there's so many
you-
vices out there right now. Like, and it seems like the older we all get, some newer vices now come up where, you know, 30, 40 years ago, it was just alcohol. And now look at it. It's alcohol, meth, heroin, fentanyl, you know.
The tranquilizers, stuff,
Right, right.
kratom.
Right. And that comes from a sick society, a very numb society.
I
King
think-
baby syndrome, right? I
Right.
want what I want and I want it now. I have a headache, I want to take a pill. I'm feeling emotional, I want to smoke this. You know, I don't feel like I'm good enough, I'm gonna blow that line
Right.
or whatever.
And I do say this to a lot of clients, like, why take something to cure something or make you feel better from this?
Right.
Sweat it out.
You
You know,
One of the things that I struggle with, and you know, maybe you can help me with this, is, you know, like I've never relapsed. And
Okay.
it's like when I'm working with a client, that is probably the only gray area that I have, because like when I was done, like I was just done.
right,
Like
right.
I would never want to go back to that horrible lifestyle, you know, but I don't understand like how to really relate to somebody on that level because I haven't had that experience.
Okay, I can say last year, well, 16 months ago, when I went downstate and relapsed, the thought was there.
Right.
Okay. And I had bought this new car, I wanted to go down there, and I told myself, I'm gonna go see my mom.
Right. You talked yourself in.
I didn't talk, I told myself. I ain't talking to myself, I told myself.
Right.
I never made it.
Yeah.
Never made it. I'm gonna say this, like, I wanted it. My addiction is a lot stronger than my recovery.
Yeah.
You know, I could have wallowed into that old me,
Mm-hmm.
you know. In the past, prior to me even coming up here, I've never really tried to stop. If
Yeah.
I didn't go to prison, if I didn't get locked up, if they didn't force me to go to Project Rehab, other little Pathfinders and all these other places,
It was game on.
never won't gonna stop.
Right.
You know, but then sometimes I was glad because I was tired. I knew that the life I was living wasn't what I wanted.
Yeah.
You know, when I really started to get a little clarity
Mm-hmm.
in my head, like, damn, I don't want, I'm tired of this. You know,
Yeah.
and being in places that I don't want to be in, living a life that I don't want to live.
Yeah.
you know, when I look at that, I said, shit, I didn't want to stop.
Right.
You know, so when I went to prison in California and got out and went to a sober living house out there, that's when I actually seen sobriety.
Yeah.
You know, that's when I seen life could be better again.
Yeah.
That's when I seen there was an opportunity for me to change.
Sure.
You know, I didn't put 100% in. I probably will tell you the truth. I probably put 40% in.
Yeah.
Into that, and I still did, you know, seen the blessings and the promises
Right.
of recovery when I was out there.
Unfortunately, that would only take you so much. You know what I mean? Like you can't be half in or half.
I'm telling you the story.
Yeah.
40%. I'm saying that. I'm being honest with you. I
Yeah.
only put about 40% in, but I went on the drilling. I went on. I'm gonna show I can do this.
Right.
It wasn't me doing. We had to go to meetings and all that, but I didn't gravitate to it. I didn't do no reading.
Sure.
You know, I just was white knuckling it, working.
Yeah.
You know, getting that. And I'm kind of what I'm gonna say got me the feel of going to work every day,
Mm-hmm.
getting up and going to work and being responsible, paying bills. That was a start for that. So it was a phase for me building up into now.
Yeah.
You know, so I do my daily reflections. You know what I'm saying? I do reach out to my sponsor. Even Jason DeBeck, he contacted me about something, a situation, or asked me a question, and then we talked about a life situation, and he told
he's a really cool dude, that Jason DeBeck. You know? Like he does a lot for the community around here. And
definitely. And so what we talked about, he just said, you know, you give a lot at work, but then how much you got when you come home.
Right.
And he made me realize, you know, like, damn, I do gotta put in work at home.
Yeah.
You know, my home ain't gonna be a home if I don't put the work in here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The time and the energy and effort. So you can't just empty your tank at work.
Right.
You gotta leave some. You gotta pull back. You know, some of the stuff. And I watch a few people at work how they maneuver.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if you don't know, sometimes you gotta mimic it.
Yeah.
You know, imitate it to get it.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, and some people they, you know, like in higher ups, how they maneuver, how they come to do their job, and then they go home and they live their life.
Yeah.
You know, that's just the same way in recovery. If you really don't know or can't grasp it, watch and look sometimes. You know,
like when it comes to like people in recovery's life, it's like a bank account, right? When you open your eyes, you have 100%, you know, in your bank account.
right?
25% of that is taken right off the top. That's yours. Nobody else gets that.
Right.
You know, in theory, how it's supposed to work is when the 75% is depleted, now you use that 25%, you know, to do self-care, to build your bank account back up for the next day, right? In a perfect world, that would work. You know, some days are better than others.
Right.
But giving all your energy to one thing is not.
And you said the one thing, self-care.
Yes.
And that ain't just looking good.
Right.
It ain't always about, you know, I got this, I got that, you know, the car, the house, or clothing, you know, the jewelry, anything like that. Self-care to me is your mental.
Yeah. Yeah. Like,
where am I at mentally? You know,
negative self-talk can tank a recovery.
definitely. You know, but then, you know, you gotta put yourself, who are you surrounding yourself with?
Right.
You know, I like to give enough time to each individual. So how I want to say this, like a piece of a pie, and you cutting it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like yesterday, I didn't have anything really to do. You know what I'm saying? I messed with my dog, I messed with the truck. But I wanted to go out and have like a brunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and just kick it with one of the fellas.
Yeah.
And I contacted him, and he didn't answer. And that's Brett. I'm disappointed, man. You know, you're supposed to be here today. You said you was coming. So, but I contacted him, you know, and maybe he has some things to do, whatnot. And he did tell me he was kind of tired, you know. But I wanted to get out and go to Petoskey and walk downtown and just kind of just
really people.
well, yeah, with just up and down, just stopping here, going looking at this, window shop a little bit, 50-cent window shopping. But I just wanted to just normals, just something normal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing spectacular. Just hang out for a second.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that's my field.
Yeah.
You know,
some people just aren't there yet. Like some people would have enjoyed that. And some people are like, well, I don't have any money. Why would I want to do that? Well,
yeah, no,
exercise and breathing.
For him, he just
there.
didn't answer, but I'm sure Brett would have did it. It's just the fact that that's something I wanted to do just because I don't want to be isolate myself in certain areas. So to me, it would have been my self-care just to get out, get to see this beautiful northern Michigan in a way, you know, this fall weather.
Yeah.
You know, and just get out
So
and
nice
just walk up and down downtown Petoskey and just go and let's check this out. Some places that I've never been.
Yeah.
You know, experiencing life in a whole different type of perspective.
Yeah.
You know, that's just something I wanted to do today. Maybe later on. I don't know, I might do it today. But I mean, you know, man, I can really say life has been for me beautiful. You know, it can be always improved.
Yeah.
I can definitely improve. I'm not perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work that I got to do.
But you've done a lot of work too.
Yeah,
you have to.
I'm my hardest critic. You know what I'm saying? I'm my hardest critic. But coping skills is something I need to make sure I do consistently, learning how to cope with my feelings.
My old recovery coach, he told me, he goes, Eric, treat yourself like somebody that you love.
Okay.
And like, for the longest time, I despised myself because of all the bad things I had done, all the lies I had told, all the things that I did to support my habit, right?
Right.
But there's that coexistence that has to take place if that's the person you were. You know, you're moving in a better direction, you're moving in a healthier direction, you know. But I'm grateful now to have that dark past because I can communicate and meet people where they're at. And sometimes that's right on their couch, you know?
Right. That's true. Now I'm going to say, you know, because I've noticed like in the recovery community, and I'm not judging nobody on how they get their recovery. Do you think people do things to be seen? Do you think they do things to gain advantage?
So I don't look at those kind of things like there's always those clients that just want to overtalk, that just want to get the best quote. I mean, like you experience that on Facebook,
right?
People with the most likes, the most hearts, you know, like for me, like if it doesn't affect my world, it doesn't affect me. And I don't process information like that. Like, I feel like ulterior motives are something that people in recovery have to deal with because not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody wants what you want. And sometimes, you know, like for me, like I'm a very kind person. Like I'll give anybody, you know, like anything that I have. And it opens me up to be taken advantage of. However, more than hundreds of people benefit from it.
And that's where I would like to not experience in my recovery, you know, of somebody the alternative motive.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be missed with that one.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? I want to be missed with that. If you have alternative motive, take it somewhere else. You know,
don't bring it to us. You take it down the road somewhere.
Take it down the road, man. I don't want to be a part of that because.
I wanted to tell you. Last week I was at the McDonald's in Boyne City, Boyne Falls, and a guy named Dakota says that he watches our podcast and he wants to be on our podcast. He says we can go to his crib or we can do it around here.
We
He's
is
amazing.
movable, y'all.
Yeah.
We will
Yeah.
move around.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, we reach out to Dakota. That you see the number, Dakota.
231-459.
5231.
Boom.
Send a text, anything. Just holler at us. We up for it.
Yep, send us your schedule.
I like to send a shout out to the Yarbrough family.
Yes.
Belinda DeBose. You know, I lost a good old friend named Leo Yarbrough. He passed away. Belinda, you know, send my condolences to you losing your mom. I'm sorry to hear that. To the Hills, One Way Watkins, you know what I'm saying? E, you know, send my condolences out there to you and your family. Anybody see E down there in Atlanta, ATL, tell him I send my condolences, you know what I'm saying? Rodney Hinkle, childhood friend, Sandbox. And we used to fight each other with switches. Very, very, very close friend of mine. Like when I say childhood friend, like we go back like 5, 6 years old, you know what I'm saying? Growing up, I was living with my grandma and all that stuff. Well, probably about 7 years. He lost his mom, Miss Hinkle, to the Burrs family. Hey, how y'all doing? I know y'all support me. Rod is gonna be all right, man. I love you, man. You can reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm always here. So I wanted to send them condolences. I'm losing a lot of family, friends, and stuff like that, man. And you know, it's makes you think, man. For me, when I see these, you know, certain people passing away, some of them, you know, it's like, man, they still young.
Yeah.
It makes you want to live life, man.
Yeah.
Like it's no time to be BSing with life today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just enjoy this shit.
Yeah.
You know, you got family members, you know, you don't get to hear from and talk to, you know, and it makes me remind me, I'm gonna just put it out there, like my brother, you know, I love him to death. Some things I just don't get where he at,
Yeah.
mentally, you know what I'm saying? But I love him to death,
Yeah.
you know, but
And that's all that matters is how you feel about that person, you know.
shit, I tried to fill his shoes growing up. Like every sport he played, I played that same sport in the same position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was like he was really my dad.
Yeah.
In a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I wanted to be just like him. I wanted to grow up just like him. But some things I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, about my brother that I don't get, you know, like, man, what's the deal? But I love him to death, man, and I don't want him to something to happen and he don't ever hear me. And so I would say it publicly, brother, I love you, man. Man, call your mom, man. You know. So with that, you know, my name is Maurice. I remain teachable.
My name is Eric. Keep moving forward.
And we will say this, as y'all can see this Straight Talk cover. We coming out with some hoodies, y'all. We coming out with some hoodies.
Sweatshirts and
Y'all
hoodies.
see
We
this?
got the
Y'all see
hats.
this? Yes.
It's getting exciting on this
We
end.
got some women apparel, all that. We're gonna
Yeah.
come out with these hoodies. So y'all see this number, 231-459-5231. Reach out to us. If y'all got any suggestions, reach out to Straight Talk Recovery. We'll talk about it. We'll mention your name. Any topic, holler at us.
Yep.
Peace.